Good morning. It's Thursday, March the 19th, and this is The Drill. Thank you. I'm Ron, your host and the only true conservative in the United States today. I created this podcast to answer the question most asked by conservatives, namely, what can I do? My podcast is short, approximately 5 to 10 minutes long, because shorter podcasts are easier to download and listen to, and shorter podcasts force me to get to the point. I've been listening to conservative talk radio since 1989. I've grown up in a socialist household and seen the destructive effects of socialism up close and personal. My podcast is made available through Spreaker and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. Today, what can I do? Tweet of the day, David Gergen, and the biggest single weakness of single-payer health care. All that when I come back. Thank you. What can I do? Have the courage of your convictions. You must be able and willing to stand up for true conservatism at any time, anywhere, even if you have to challenge another conservative. When engaged by a liberal, you must respond and win. Winning doesn't mean converting the lefty to conservatism, but simply stopping or shutting him up. When socialists get stymied by enough true conservatives, they will convert themselves. They will realize that they have no authority, no power, and that they can't win. Next up, the tweet of the day. Thank you. The tweet of the day from President Trump, quote, "We are going to win sooner rather than later," unquote. Next up, David Gergen. Thank you. David Gergen was quoted on the Rush Limbaugh show as having said the following, quote, "I can't remember anybody who has been attacked as much as she has," unquote, speaking of Hillary Clinton. First of all, Mr. Gergen must have been in a coma for the past 3 years. Secondly, the statement is arbitrary. He fails to define his terms, he fails to produce any evidence or proof, and he fails to reach a conclusion. But it is useful to analyze. How does such a worthless statement end up on Rush Limbaugh's show? Simple. David Gergen uses a trigger word. In this case, the word attacked. All arbitrary statements and questions should be ignored. The left knows this and uses trigger words such as racist, misogynist, homophobe, xenophobe, and now attacked to bait conservatives into wasting time and energy. Don't be fooled. Next up, single payer's biggest weakness. Thank you very much. I hear conservatives criticizing single-payer health care as being low quality. This is true, but why is it true? It is not single-payer per se that lowers health care quality, but what happens immediately after single-payer has been enacted. Unions. All medical personnel will be organized. Why do unions lower the quality of health care? Because unions are organized in the best interests of their members, not in the best interests of the patient. Union solidarity is rule number 1. The dynamic is to fit in, not to stand out. The goal is to get as much pay and benefits for doing the least amount of work. The relationship between doctor and patient becomes adversarial instead of cooperative. This means that single payer is not just bad, but deadly. Back in a minute. Thank you. Who is the true conservative? He's the person that has the courage of his convictions and is confident in what he knows. He's the person that understands that cultural conservatism is more important than political conservatism. He's not selfish, but minds his own business. He acts like an adult. He's patriotic and uses common sense. He expresses what he knows and does so with certainty. He makes judgments, refuses to speculate, speaks clearly and definitively, and is not afraid to say no. He's open-minded, asking why rather than why not. He's consistent, credible, and influential, not ashamed of his existence, unafraid to learn or correct his mistakes. He is a normal American and is better than the socialist. He is a better friend, father, brother, family member, and a better person, period. You have to know that. If you don't know with every fiber of your being that being a true conservative is best, then you're wasting your time. And that brings me to the end of another episode of The Drill. Remember that the left has no authority, no power, and they can't win. Think about it.